Warriors of Azeroth, it's time to wield your strongest armor and your most fearsome weapon. It's time to apply your best enchantments and your most powerful buff consumables. This October, my friends, it'll be time to fight to the death. You know, in a safe, automated, queue-based dungeon finder system. The one that gives you overpowered rewards and makes open-world leveling obsolete. That's because in Phase 4, we'll be getting the brand new random dungeon finder system, automated cross-realm queues for dungeons, huge bonus rewards just for showing up, and of course my favorite perky pug. Oh, how I love that dog. So let's talk about everything new with the RDF system and how to take advantage of it to level fast. First though, a quick recap on RDF. RDF is the automated dungeon finding interface built into Phase 4 of Wrath of the Lich King. First you select your role, whether it's tank or healer or DPS or even multiple roles. Then you queue up for either a random or specific dungeon. To queue for an individual dungeon, you just use the drop-down menu to select the specific dungeon option. Then you can check the boxes of which dungeons you want to find a group for. So far, this might just look like the looking for group tool that's already in the game. The big difference, however, is that the RDF system will automatically match players and roles, even cross-realm. This means you no longer need to invite players or even interact with them at all. Really, all you do is you queue up and you wait. The other big bonus with the RDF system is that you automatically get teleported to the dungeon when your group is filled. There is another big perk to the RDF system beyond the automatic queues though. That's of course the random dungeon system. If you select the random dungeon option, you'll receive numerous bonus rewards. At level 80, you'll get 2 Emblems of Triumph and bonus gold. Below 80, you'll get scaling experience and gold, and below 70, you'll also get a satchel of helpful goods. Speaking of that satchel, let's dive right into using RDF for gearing. The satchel of helpful goods we just talked about will contain a random bind-on pickup armor piece. Which pieces of armor you get in each level bracket will change. For example, at level 66, you might get a ring or a shoulder piece. The armor type is based on what your class is. For example, rogues will get leather items. This means queuing randomly with RDF is a great way to gear up. You'll be getting both the dungeon rewards and the bonus satchel at the same time. At level 80 though, RDF is a great way to gear up too. You'll be getting 2 Emblems of Triumph every time you queue up and gold to buy BOEs. In a big change from the original system, we also have the new Alpha, Beta, and Gamma modes available as well. We'll cover those later in the video, so don't worry. First though, let's talk about how RDF can be used for incredible leveling speed. Previously, the dungeon scene at low levels was relatively inactive. Nobody wanted to make groups or travel across the entire game just for a single Shadowfang keep. Now we can queue up for random dungeons and even get scaling bonus XP from every run. Keep in mind that you do have to still be in the level range of the dungeon to be able to queue for it though. For example, on my level 22 Troll Mage, I can only queue for Black Fathom Deeps. Meanwhile, on my level 12 Alliance Druid, I can't even queue for any dungeons at all. This means that you really won't be able to purely dungeon grind all the way to 80. Also, situationally, you still might want to quest in between certain level ranges if the available dungeons are suboptimal. An example of this would be that in my mid-30s, I usually get a little bit burned out of Stranglethorn Vale. So with the new RDF system, I'll instead be blasting Scarlet Monastery as much as possible until my 40s. Doing 4 Scarlet Monastery Cathedral runs with Joyous Journey and Heirlooms can be over 100,000 XP per hour. That is definitely better than I get from questing at that level. Expecting perfect runs is a stretch though, and it's very possible you'll end up on the floor and then your tank will leave. Still, there will be level ranges where RDF is the best XP per hour. You also have to keep in mind that queues won't be instant either. Healers and tanks will always get faster queues, while DPS queues are generally a few minutes longer. You'll definitely want to be questing using a free questing add-on like Guidelime or even Rested XP while sitting in the queue. Also, you'll want to have your chest and your shoulder heirlooms. Those give you the 10% bonus experience each alongside Joyous Journeys. Your knowledge game can go up way more than 10% if you subscribe to this channel. Just look at this testimonial from the Lich King. Wow. Okay, so once you hit 80 from all your RDF spam and your questing, it's time to use RDF to get raid ready in record time. Luckily, we can use RDF to queue for the new Titan Rune modes. Just to recap, Titan Rune Alpha gives 200 and 213 item level gear. Then the Beta mode gives that 225 Ulduar level gear. Finally, we have Gamma giving the 232 item level gear. There's also the new Defiler Scourgestone currency, which drops from every Gamma boss. The brand new Gamma vendor will sell 245 normal items like Death's Choice and Reign of the Dead. You might be tempted to skip straight to the new Titan Rune Gamma mode on a fresh character for all that sweet gear. There are some gear requirements though you'll have to hit first. These are subject to change, but for normal heroic, you'll need an average item level of 180. That's approximately 3,000 gear score. For alpha, you'll need 187, and for beta, 200 item level. For gamma, the current number on the PTR is 200, but it could be higher. If you can get some BOEs on the auction house, you should definitely try to skip normal heroics and go straight to alpha mode. Blizzard has made the alpha mode significantly easier in this patch, and the 200 item level gear is a big jump from heroics. My new plan for completely fresh characters will be to hit a few random alphas first. Then I can jump into beta and then gamma without struggling with any of the new mechanics. Speaking of gear score requirements, if you want to queue up for the icy new Frozen Halls dungeons, you'll need at least 200 item level on average. That is about 3,700 gear score, so it's a pretty high requirement to go out there and farm those battered hilts. While we're talking about battered hilts, with all the XP and gold you'll be earning from RDF, you'll definitely want to know the 10 most expensive items in Phase 4. Check that video out next.